Welcome aboard, and have we got a cracking episode for you today? This week we are testing the knowledge of our special guest. There are some first impressions of Yakuza Like a Dragon, and we get to talking about the news out of the Square Camp. This is Triple XP.
Triple XP.
Welcome all to episode 25. I'm Shane, and this is Mike.
Hello.
And our special guests this week are the amazing Jarrett and Morgan from Team Chat Podcast.
Hello.
How's it going, guys?
How's it going?
It's going decently well. We live in Texas, of course, so it's a beautiful sunny day, and we get to go outside and enjoy it later.
Oh man, it's so nice here today. It's ridiculous. My wife and I got out in our hammock in the backyard earlier, and we're just enjoying the sun. It was amazing.
I was just going to say, is it ever not sunny there, but like you've just literally come out of like a...
Yeah, we had about 1 week.
Yeah.
We had 1 week of winter, like actual horrible winter, and then that was enough. And
Like
then we
5
went
years
right
of
back
winter
into
all at
spring.
once.
Yeah.
Oh boy, did we hear about it as well.
So
Oh, man,
Texas
really?
is literally the opposite of where Mike lives then.
Yeah,
They
pretty
get 1
much.
week of sun a year, and the rest of the time it's just grey.
Just rain.
I mean, you laugh, but that's a pretty accurate description.
Yeah, it's raining. If it's not rain, it's just warm rain in the summer.
Well, it's nice and
Yeah.
nice and hydrated then, you know. I wish we could have that over here sometimes because it gets crispy in the summer.
I don't. Y'all can keep it.
So,
Yeah.
do you want to tell us what you're about? What do you two get up to?
Jared's pretty good at this part.
I'm good. Okay, I can do our little spiel. So Morgan and I are hosts of Team Chat Podcasts. Our little byline for it is a weekly video game show where we talk about games, the ones we love, the ones we hate, and everything in between. So we really just cover everything. We talk about our favorite games. We talk about news. We talk about reviews of some older games. We do new games as well. And try to do some, like, I feel like sometimes we'll do some fun list things. Well, we're like, we've done our top 10 games. We've done our top soundtracks that we've listened to. We've done, good old favorite weapons, a lot of different stuff like that. So the episodes of our show come out every Tuesday in the morning over here in the US anyway. And you can listen to those pretty much on all podcast services and also watch a video version of each episode over on our YouTube channel as well. So, and we're on all the social media stuff too. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we got
Naturally.
a Discord, all that fun stuff. So
Spiel.
There you
done.
go. Spiel done.
it's so just like ingrained at this point.
Yeah.
Been doing this for 5 years.
Oh.
Got it down by now.
Finally, though, for a while there,
Yeah.
I was worried I was never going to get it down. I'd mess up the interview all over, not the interview, the introduction all over the place. Like,
On the rare
On the
occasion that
regular.
you kind of goof it up nowadays, it's always like so surprising that I actually snap out of my haze that I go into during the intro, and I'm like, oh my god, he's messing it up, and then I always make sure to point out, wow, that was a bad job, Jared.
Yep. She always keeps me humble, so that's good.
He's
Just
screwed
to
it.
make sure that the negative reinforcement keeps it from happening again.
It keeps it from going to my head and make me feel like I'm doing a good job.
Gotta stay
Right.
grounded, man. You gotta stay grounded.
Exactly.
The thing is, I've been listening to this intro for 5 years, and if you asked me to do it right now, I wouldn't be able to.
And I have. I've put you on the spot a couple times for some of
I'm
the
like,
episodes.
I don't know.
We'll be dicking around or whatever before it starts on the recording, and then I was like, hey, this sounds good. Why don't you kick this one off? She's like,
I'm like, no, I don't know how. I know I'm here, but am I ever really here?
Oh, yeah, you are.
I mean, that sounds exactly like Mike whenever we discuss him doing the opening, and he's like, "Oh, I just, I don't know I don't know how I feel about that."
If not,
Just not for me.
I mean, I will say it's some pressure because it is the normal spiel, and I'm always like, I've got to get it right this time, especially when we do like live episodes or whatever. I feel myself get all flushed and stuff before. I'm just like, oh god, I gotta nail
Yeah.
this.
It's live.
I know. Every other time I could be like, if sometimes I have messed it up bad enough recently, even too, where I'm just like, no, we got to do it again. I know it's terrible.
Well, if you listen to that spiel and you still aren't following them, then you should probably go follow them, essentially. But shall we move into what we've been playing?
Let's do it.
As our guests, you guys get to start. So don't mind which one of you goes first, but do you guys want to kick us off with what you've been playing this week?
Absolutely. I'll kick us off, mostly just because I just got done. Mike was there. He graciously graced my stream with his presence. So on rare occasion, Jared and I do stream. I shouldn't say rare. We actually do it pretty normally now. I usually stream on Mondays and Wednesdays, and Jared will often stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I didn't think I was going to stream it this much, but I am addicted to Bravely Default 2. And I've been streaming most of it, but I'm at the point where I'm like, man, I've kind of committed to streaming this game. So if there are weird gaps in the story, people are going to be like, wait, I thought you were back on chapter 3 last time. So I just had a little impromptu stream for that. And Bravely Default 2 is probably I love the Bravely series. They are stupidly named, but fantastic games. And Bravely Default 2 is so far not disappointing me. When I first started playing it, there were a couple of things that they had changed from the old formula that I was like, I don't know about this. But now that I've really kind of started to get the hang of it and unlocked more job classes, if you're not familiar, Bravely Default is a very traditional JRPG, so it's the turn-based combat, but with a lot of special Bravely flair. So it's a pretty high-risk, high-reward kind of system. So if you risk it for the biscuit and you don't do it right, you're gonna die for sure. Bravely Default 2 is significantly, I would say, more difficult than the previous entries in the series. And I've actually died a lot. To bosses, to non-bosses, to super bosses. I'm dying right, left, and center. So it's definitely a challenging game, and I've been having a ton of fun with it.
It is a solid game, though. I've started playing it myself, but I'm not particularly far through yet.
Where were you at?
I can't remember the name of the town, but the second town, the desert town that you go to.
Gotcha.
I've literally just completed that area, but I am so over leveled because I think I've played about 9 hours and around 8 of those was just leveling because
really?
Wow.
I play a lot of RPGs and I get stuck into a grinding formula that I know.
Gotcha.
And yeah, that's my jam. Especially the old school JRPG is my jam. So I spent a long time, and I'm something like level 23 or something.
Okay.
But everything runs away from me consistently. So
not surprised.
Yeah, so I'm having trouble leveling now.
When I finished the area that you just got through, I was definitely under-leveled because I struggled like nobody's business through basically every boss fight in that entire section. But I finally got to a point now where I'm starting to feel a little over-leveled, but definitely not where you're at. I think in the sections you just got through, I was maybe level 15. Well, level 16, I was pretty far behind, so you will have a hard time finding monsters that actually want to fight you.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm not even grinding to get my level up. It's just every single time I get a job, I'm just I just want to max it out instantly. So I spend ages just maxing that out, and then realize I've gone up 6 levels.
Yeah, this is actually something that I feel like they. Oh, I know that this was a mechanic. I'm probably going to get it wrong to a certain extent, but in Bravely Default 2, for sure, possibly the first game also, there were a couple of really good quality of life settings. You might even be able to do this in Bravely Default 2, and I just haven't bothered to look for it yet. But in ye olden days, you could actually turn off the ability to gain XP and or the ability to gain job points. So if you just wanted to level jobs, you could, and you wouldn't wind up being massively over-leveled. So I'll actually, now that I kind of forgot about that, now that I've remembered that used to be a thing, I'll have to check and see if it's somewhere in the settings. It might be.
Yeah, I might have
You're
to look
saying
into that.
it doesn't like split the XP and the job, the points across XP and the job. It'll like funnel all of them to one, or it just like doesn't give you XP points.
Yeah, normally how Bravely Default works is when you finish any given battle, you get both experience points and job points separately. They're their own
Mhm.
separate entities. So it wasn't that difficult then to just pick the setting that let you turn off XP and just keep job points on. So I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. I would have to look it back up to make sure that I'm actually saying it correctly, but I feel like that was definitely one of the quality of life things about Bravely Default that made me go, "Oh, this game is the best." Because they had the ability to make random encounters really, really likely or zero, so you never had random encounters. That's different in Bravely Default 2, of course, because the random encounter system has been scrapped in favor of enemies are just on the map at all times, and you can either choose to engage with them or you can literally try to physically run away from them so that you don't have to fight them.
Nice.
The other thing about Bravely Default that anytime anyone talks to me about it that I always feel was worth mentioning is the absolutely ridiculous over the top voice acting. Is my favorite thing
It's
ever.
the best. It's so good.
It's just there is literally a character that I can only describe Mike as Johnny Bravo in every way possible.
That's so good.
It's just incredible. Absolutely great.
Are you talking about Elvis?
No, it's the
Oh,
guy.
which one are you
The
talking
guy
about?
at the beginning. That you take the like one of the bosses at the beginning that you take
His
the
name is Dag. D-A-G. Oh my god, I forgot about him.
and he literally speaks like Johnny Bravo, and it's it's
God.
absolutely
That's amazing.
incredible.
Oh my god, I never put it together, but he is like just a dead ringer.
It's honestly the best. Joet, what have you been playing, mate?
So I've been playing through Assassin's Creed Valhalla still. I've been slowly making my way through it. I actually just hit like the 60-hour mark today. I think I was playing earlier today. So I hit about 60 hours in. And I've just been loving that game so far. It's like when I'm not streaming, which on stream I've been playing Breath of the Wild, my first playthrough of that game. And when I'm not playing that, I'm usually pretty much playing Valhalla at nights and stuff. And it's just got its hooks in deep. That game is so good. And I just honestly had a part today where I was doing one of the sieges and was just going through and just wrecking shop in the combat. And I was just like, man, this game, everything about it is clicking. This combat feels so good. It's challenging. I know like I have to be tuned in and dialed in to be able to stay alive and not just get destroyed by some of the bigger enemies you run across, but it was just everything was flowing, everything was clicking, and I was just like, man, this game's solid. I'm having a blast in it. So I'm looking forward to spending a lot more time in it because I still feel like I've got a lot of the game left to go because I've done a good job of staying, pretty focused on the main quest. But
Yeah.
I love in this game that it does the main story in arcs in like very short, like in very distinct chapter sections basically. So it's like you'll go through and you'll start an arc, do the 5, 6 something missions that are in that arc, and then it's over. So then I feel like I'm able to be like, okay, this is a great time for me to go do some side quests. And it's like that just simple breaking it up of the main story has made it maybe not feel guilty for being distracted by side quests, and also like kind of being like, okay, cool, I just knocked out this big quest. I'm going to do 2-3 things, collect some armor, collect some artifacts, do some of the world events, and then like maybe spend an hour or two doing that. Cool, let's jump back into the next arc. And I'm not like over leveling myself really, so it's like keeping up at really good pace with the game. So I'm having a blast with it. I just finished the Kent story arc for anyone who's played the game. So about where I'm at it.
Uh, can both of you tell us, like, when you're out and about in Kent, is this the kind of, like, is the Valhalla stuff the kind of thing you see on the daily? Like, is this still the case? That there's just Vikings around tearing up shop?
Like current day?
Yeah, in current day.
Wait, what?
I want to know if this is still a problem.
I wish there was.
Teach us in America school about like what other countries are like, so we don't know.
I wish it was, but what I can tell you is, so there is a castle blockade in that area called Rochester.
Oh yeah, I just did that.
That is my local castle, and when I say local, as in I
What?
can see that from my house.
Oh my
Oh my
god,
God.
incredible. Jared,
Yeah.
he's living
I'm
in
so
your video
jealous.
game.
I mean, really, but that's kind of what I was thinking. I was even like thinking, I was like, man, this is kind of cool that I'm playing this, and we're gonna record with you guys later because I was like, I could ask you like, what's that like seeing that stuff? Because I feel like the closest I've ever kind of had to that in a video game, as far as like seeing this older part of the country that I live in, is like when I coincidentally, Assassin's Creed 3, and just kind of like seeing like what an older America looks like, or even like Red Dead 2, I guess. And so, but it's like, especially for you, Shane, like you can see it out your window. Like that's so cool. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's literally it's like 2 roads away. I could drive there in under 5 minutes.
That's
Oh my
bananas.
God, that's so lucky. That's
It
so
is.
cool to me.
Super
Man.
close, and it's very like when you look at it in the game, it's not 100% as it is now, because a lot of changes happened after where this game's set in actual real life. Like a lot of changes happened to the castle. But
Right.
it is recognizable. Like if I was to show you a picture, if I was to go and take a picture and show you it, you would instantly recognize it as the same places in the game.
Oh,
And it's the same with the other one because Kent's a big place. But the other one that I definitely have been to, and I've seen both in the game and in real life, is Canterbury Cathedral, which is also in the game, and that's also extremely accurate to what it looks like.
man,
Man,
that's so
so
cool.
I have a new idea then. I'm going to go to that castle and I'm just going to make a big sign and like stand on the top of it. And it's just going to say, Shane, can you see me? And I'm just going to wait for you to spot me. I'm just going to stand up there.
Well, it's actually great because they used to pre everything going on. They used to hold a like music festival or music show there like every year, and there's been some quite big bands there, like particularly like big UK bands like Little Mix have played there. And if I open my bedroom window, I can actually hear the entire concert from my house
That's
without
awesome.
ever having to go there, which is also mad.
That's
really cool.
amazing.
Yeah, see, I wish I had cool stuff like that. That's just one of the things too. Is like my wife and I actually went over and visited the UK and stuff like back in 2016, I think it was. And it was just one of the things for me that was just so amazing of that trip is just how much of this, older history in buildings is just still there that you can just go look at and see. Like we went to Stonehenge and that blew my fucking mind. Like I was just like, the fact that this has been here for so long and no one's wanted to just knock them over in the whole time.
I'm sure
what I
there's
mean?
lots of
Like-
people that have wanted to knock them over, but
but like didn't though, and it's still there. And then we went to like Tower of London, and there was the remnants of the old Roman walls, and I was just like, it blew my mind. Just being able to be that close to such ancient history and everything was just incredible. I loved it.
Jared
So that's
loves
why
history.
another reason why I'm loving Valhalla, because it's like that even to a greater extent, where it's like, oh man, I'm crawling around Hadrian's Wall and like going to seeing all these ancient Roman ruins that are here and everything, and it's hitting all the right buttons for me. And it's another one of those games I just want to stay in forever because it's just perfect. So
it's a
I'm having a blast.
really good time to start playing Valhalla as well. So because I started playing this back in November time when the PS5 came out, and I've been kind of dipping in and out of it, so I still haven't got that much further than where you are. But there's a lot of quality of life changes that have happened recently for it. So the fact that you can now change the look of your armor.
Oh yeah.
That's actually quite new. That was never in the game to start with, which is an amazing feature because especially if you're trying to build a certain type of character, because I'm very, very melee based, but all the melee armor looks shit, to be honest. But the ability to have like some of the cooler looking armors but still keep my melee abilities is much better. Plus you've got this Easter festival's on at the moment, isn't it? I believe that's just started. And then you've got the new raid mode, which is I've not actually played much of yet. Have you tried much of that?
The river raids? No, I haven't really messed with that much yet. I kind of feel like that's more of a side. How much is that like a side thing? Because I was kind of like, that might be what I tackle once I'm done with the game itself. But...
So from what I've played, it's essentially the raids that you do on the little monasteries and towns and that. It's just that, but consistently, like you just constantly raiding. But the more you raid, the higher your like river wanted level goes. So they start hunting you.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, but you get like special supplies that are specific for river raiding that you can then buy special stuff with. I've not done that much, so I don't know too much around what you get out of it. But I do know there is another mode coming. They announced the other day that there's a new mode coming specifically around the combat.
Mhm.
What is going to be, they haven't said yet. And they've announced the first DLC.
Oh yeah, I just saw that. Isn't it going to be in Ireland? Set in Ireland? I think.
The first one's going to be the Viking Siege of Paris.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That'll be cool.
Fancy.
Yes, that's going to be an interesting one. Because that's a completely separate map to what we've got so far as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. The other thing about this game, like I've gone to so many areas, I've explored so much, and then I pull up the map and I'm still like, oh my god, I feel like I still have double that to explore and see, and I'm already 60 hours in. How big is this? It's huge.
Yeah, it's a huge
it's all
map.
great.
It's a huge map indeed.
I think
Mike?
that's like, that just leads me on to my game really, or one of my many games that I've been playing this week. I started off the week having great intentions of playing Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Oh yeah.
And
I still
I've
wanna
had
try
it for a
that one.
while. I bought it around Christmas time for the Switch because it was about 30 quid. But I've just been sitting on it for ages, not played it, not touched it. Like loaded it up, and initially it was like it's quite good. But then once it opens up, it has that like typical sort of Ubisoft thing where it's like, here's hours and hours of content, and it's just all thrown at you all at once.
Mhm.
So it just became like overwhelming for me, and I was just like, I just can't commit to this. Like it just kind of throws you in at the deep end. I'm like, what are all these icons? What do they mean? And it's very like that Ubisofty thing where it's just like 1,000 map markers, and it's all just thrown at me. So I decided to just put it on the back burner again and just play something else. And I did try Forgotten Anne. I know, Mogan, you played that quite a lot recently.
Yes, indeed.
So happy you've tried this. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I mean, I bought it on your recommendation, to be fair. And then, Mogan, you've done a review of it recently, haven't you?
I did.
Right, yeah. I'm pretty sure you did.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you definitely,
Didn't you write about it?
did. Because I remember reading it and thinking, I'm so happy that somebody else has played this game because it's such a good game.
Well, isn't that the game, Mogan, that Sleepy Snails talked about too for a little bit when we were doing our Valentine's Day episode when we had him on? Didn't he talk about Forgotten Anne
God.
also?
Oh yeah, he did. No wait, was it Sleepy Snails? I thought it was Roro.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Sleepy Snails because he was on for our Valentine's Waifus Husbandos episode.
Oh,
He
wow.
talked about Anne from Forgotten Anne.
That's
pretty
very
sure.
awkward because I'm pretty sure I tweeted out something that was like, "Thanks Roro for the wreck."
Oh,
Whoopsie doodles. Yeah, Forgotten Man is pretty awesome. What have you been playing it on, Mike? I'm guessing you're probably not playing it on mobile.
No, I grabbed it on the Switch. It was about...
That's good on you. Obviously, you know, when you're writing a review about a mobile game, you can't be like, "Don't play it on mobile." But in the back of my mind, I was like, this probably would have been a little bit better of an experience either on PC or on a console. And since it's available for like everything now, you know, and it's not expensive. No matter where you buy it from, it's a pretty inexpensive game. So
yeah, it's about
yeah,
6 quid for me.
Did you say, have you finished it or are you still in progress?
It's one of these games that got put on the back burner again because it was just I don't know why, just the sort of platformy element of it just didn't grab me, and I got just initially frustrated with things, and I was just like, I'll just play something else because I'm just like
Yeah,
that.
I get it.
Like, if it doesn't initially grab me, then I'll just move on to the next game, of which there are many. So
Yeah,
the main game that I want to talk about is Paper Mario, which initially just got his hooks in, and I've been playing it like pretty much all day today.
The new one, Origami King.
Yeah, the Origami King. Yeah, it's the first time I've played a Mario game, Paper Mario game rather.
Oh, I was about to say what?
Yeah. So yeah, it's great. Like, I love it. I think it's like the best looking Mario game to date. Like, even better than Odyssey and all those. Like, it is just so good looking. It has this like real charm to it, I think.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to play it myself, but I did watch a bit of a playthrough of it, and just how much do you love just throwing confetti around? Is
Oh,
that the
it's
best part of it?
more games need this.
More games need
Yeah, yeah.
confetti.
More games need this. Like, imagine like GTA, we could just sprinkle confetti around. I see. Yeah, it's my new favorite game
Surely that's a
mechanic.
mod already.
It's got to be, right? I'm sure, like, was it like Saints Row or something that had like a confetti cannon or something? I'm sure it had one. It had all these
No,
like,
that
That
sounds
that
really
rings a
familiar.
bell.
yeah, yeah. But yeah,
It does ring
bring
a bell.
more
Saints
games
Row,
need
what a
confetti.
crazy game.
But yeah, it's like with most sort of turn-based RPG type games, the tutorial just went on for just so long, and it's just so hand-holdy. I'm just like, just let me play. I understand that like how the combat works initially, but there's one point where it tells you how the combat works, and like, right, that's great, that's how it works. But then it does it again after like a little story beat. It shows you again like the same thing that you've just learned. It's like it's been a while since you've been in combat. Like, let me show you again exactly
Oh,
what you
no.
already know. It's like, just let
That's
me play.
annoying. Just please, I get it. I
Yeah,
promise. I just wish that there were a mode for specific games like Paper Mario, or really kind of any typical Nintendo title where you can turn on the I'm an adult setting, and it just like
yeah,
gets rid of a ton of the tutorial for you. Because
yeah,
I
yeah,
totally agree. Those types of things are so like flow breaking, and it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
an annoyance.
Like I find those tutorials that won't let you progress unless you press the specific button. It's like press A to do this menu or whatever, and it's like just okay, I get it. Yeah, like but just let me do some other stuff. Let me test out some things.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
messing
I'll
with stuff. I'm learning like humans actually
yeah,
learn through
I'll figure it out.
trial and
Don't
error.
worry.
I
Like
mean, Mike,
eventually,
you
I'm
know
going
how
to
I feel
press the
about
A button.
tutorials.
Yeah, yeah. But like the gameplay itself seems like it does have some like real depth to it. Like specifically like the combat. It's all based in this circle, sort of almost like a puzzle element to it. We have to line up the enemies for certain attack types. So you'll line them in a row, or you'll group them together in a small block, and you'll do like attack with the hammer, or like you'll bounce so that if they're in a row, you'll just jump on the heads and do like a row of damage. And with the hammer, it's like a wider area of effect. But so far, I've not got super far into it, but you can tell that there's a lot of like things to come where it's going to complicate this sort of circle mechanic of combat. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited to play more of this, and it's the one game that's like got its hooks in early with like the story and stuff, because it really has like some great sort of comedy writing and stuff in there.
Yeah, I've heard the comedy in it's really good.
Yeah, it actually like had me laughing out loud, which is new for a Mario game for me.
I mean, I feel like for Paper Mario, that's kind of part of the appeal because the older Paper Mario games were kind of the same. The writing in them is hysterical,
Yeah, yeah.
and you're just not really expecting it because in most Mario games, let's face it, there's not a lot of dialogue or writing. So it's kind of like a breath of fresh air to be able to actually, have NPCs that actually
Yeah,
talk and have feelings and emotions that you can identify with.
yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, so I'm excited to play more of that. So yeah, that's my game this week. Shane,
Awesome.
What have you been playing, mate?
Yakuza, finally got to play this game.
This
After
this is like got you written all over it. This game.
it is honestly incredible, and there's nothing I dislike. Well, no, that's a lie. There are things I dislike about it, but there's the standard Yakuza things that I dislike about it. So have any of you played a Yakuza game before or
I have
aware of the
not.
series?
There are so many, though. I feel like there are 12,000 Yakuza games.
Yeah, I don't know where to start with them. That's where I'm at with it. I'm just like probably
Yeah, there is.
zero.
Yeah, same.
There is a lot. So the previous Yakuza titles, I don't know the names of all of them, but there's like Kiwami, which I think is 0, and then it works its way up to 5. I want to say 5 or 6.
Yeah,
They all
maybe.
followed this. They all follow like the same selection of characters in the same place, and it's a continuation of a story. Then you had Judgment, which was a different character, but he was a detective, but set in the same universe and in the same town. This one completely flips it on its head and essentially is if you want to get into a Yakuza game, but something a little bit different, this is the one. So this one you follow a member of the Yakuza who very early in the game has to serve a long prison sentence, and then when he comes out, some story beats happen, and essentially you end up in a completely different town that's not been involved in the Yakuza games ever before. And it's a completely separate area, completely new to the game. Completely new characters, it's a completely new game. And the big change in this one, so all the previous ones have been sort of more of like a beat 'em up style, like you're running around and just getting to weird kung fu fights with people in the street. This one is a turn-based combat game with a job system.
Whoa! What? Really?
Yeah, yeah. So the main character, he is obsessed with Dragon Quest, and his like when he gets into fights, the enemies turn into Dragon Quest style enemies, or like the game works like that because in his mind he thinks he's a hero from Dragon Quest, so everything like works like that. So you have turn-based combat, which is like kind of you don't have any. So when it goes into the combat, your characters will kind of slowly move around themselves, and then you pick your attacks and pick who you want to attack, and it works in that sort of format. So kind of a little bit like the previous Final Fantasy 13, I think, where it was like almost set. The enemy's on one side, you're on the other, and you're not physically moving them around because you're just picking their moves. But yeah, then there's a job system. So the jobs I've currently got are my main character's a hero. I've got a second character. His job is a homeless man. The third guy is he's a police officer that got the sack, so he's now like a security guard, I think he is.
Oh my God.
And a female who's a bartender. It is honestly one of the most ridiculous games I've ever played. It's just so comical and so ridiculous in everything that it does. You're essentially a homeless ex-Yakuza working with another homeless man to earn money and try and live with honor.
I have heard so much about this particular game, but somehow it was only ever about how ridiculous it is. I genuinely did not know that it was a turn-based combat system, kind of pseudo based on Dragon Quest. So now I was already interested, but now I'm significantly more interested. I'll have to check that out.
It's honestly so good, and like the moves are just so comical. So the homeless guy, for example, his move set for his job, he's got a move that's called Pigeon Raid, where he just throws breadcrumbs at the enemy and loads of pigeons attack them.
Incredible.
And the other one's Pyro Belch, where he just downs a bottle of whiskey and then burps and sets it on fire, setting them on fire.
Oh my God.
Just absolutely ridiculous moves and a ridiculous game. There is lots of swearing in it. It touches on a lot of quite adult themes, particularly around the sort of prostitution in Japan and that sort of element that features a lot in the game. But then it's a Yakuza game, so it's focused on that underworld element. So you kind of expect it to have those darker, like more criminal elements to them.
Right.
I mean, it still has its issues though. Graphically, it's still not the most beautiful game out there, but then none of the Yakuzas are. It does have a few little loading issues here and there, but genuinely, I'm absolutely loving it. And just to tie off this initial review, because I will come back to this and review it again once I've fully played it. I'm only about 11 hours in, I think, so far, and the Yakuza games are long. There is when you come across some people in the street and you have to fight them, they just look like ordinary people when they're walking around, but then they change into different forms of enemies when you're fighting them, and you can collect like a database of all the types of enemies. There's like 250 different types, and one of the types
Jesus.
is called the Slippery Lube Man, and it's just a man. It's a man in some Y fronts with a blow up lilo bed covered in lube.
Oh my
And
god!
when you're fighting him, there's like a 50% chance that when he goes to hit you, he'll just slip up and fall over on his own lube, and he literally comes up with Slippery Lube Man slipped on his own lube.
Wow.
Amazing. Where do I buy that
That's
game?
incredible.
It is honestly incredible. I keep considering doing a couple of little streams just to show off how amazing it is. But it is, yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and hopefully I can come back with some more info in a few weeks once I've had a bit more of an opportunity to play it.
Please do. I would happily
Yeah, for real.
attend.
Yeah, we need
So
more,
I feel like I need to see this now.
more confetti and more Slippery Lube Man is what we need.
Yeah, just confetti. Everything needs that confetti, and then it'll stick to the lube, and he'll be extra fun.
Exactly.
And then he can use the purple dildo bat from Saints Row 3. And then
Oh
it's
my
just
god!
Well,
The ultimate
set.
warrior.
talking of purple dildo bat, my main character's current weapon is the sex massage toy. There was like the ball on the end. He's
Oh,
got
yeah.
a giant version of one of those.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just
I might
incredible.
need to play this. This sounds
And
amazing.
it is literally just called giant massage sex toy. That is his weapon of choice
know
at the
what?
moment.
I like the straightforwardness. Why not call a spade a spade?
Exactly. There's no messing about in this game. They know what they're doing. They're like,
They
yeah,
know what they're about.
I've just completed an entire quest line where I was helping a man who runs a brothel try to find his missing workers. Like
Oh
it
my
literally, it doesn't beat around the bush at all. It's just like, this is what's happening. Go and do it. Have fun because it's mental.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to play this. It sounds too
Incredible.
good.
It is just absolutely great. But anyway, moving on. Talking of incredible games, we've got a fun little game for you guys today.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, what we have put together for you is a selection of 10 questions. In each question, we have listed 3 video game titles. Your
Uh-oh.
task
Oh boy.
is to locate out of the 3 which is the real title. 2 of them are lies, 1 of them is real.
Okay.
Okay.
Once you
Okay,
know which
okay.
is the real one, you then need to tell us what you believe that game is about.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. So we guess the
Got
correct
it.
title and then give you what we think it's about. Okay.
Yeah. So,
I'm with you.
so
Are
this-
Jared and I on like a team, or are we taking these one at a time?
Do I need to buzz in?
What would you prefer?
we didn't think this through.
I'm fine with us just like being on a team and like.
No, I
taking-
was just gonna say I want it to not be team based.
Oh no.
Well, we can do
Calm
one.
down,
We can do one at a
Jared.
time. We can do 5 apiece. See who gets
Okay.
the highest score.
Okay,
Yeah,
we can do
that's
that.
how I want to do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm
Let's
down
do
with
it
that.
that way then. Right. Well, in that case, I'll take the first one then. So, which of you stepping up first?
I volunteer as tribute.
Okay. So, Joe, I've got you for the questions then. Mike, you've got Mogan.
Yeah.
So the first one is little fish blows a bubble, Mr. Insect shorts a fuse, or fat worm blows a sparky. Which of those is a real game?
Oh my god. Okay. One more time on the titles.
So little fish blows a bubble, Mr. Insect shorts a fuse, or fat worm blows a sparky.
I'm gonna go with the second one. Insect blows a fuse.
You would be incorrect, sir.
Damn it.
Oh,
It is.
burn.
It is fat worm blows a sparky.
Huh. If it makes you feel
And-
any better, I was gonna guess the fish one, so we both would have been wrong.
All right. That does make me feel a little better.
So
As-
for your second point, what do you think that game's about? Or what type of game do you think that is?
I feel like it's some kind of like home renovation or home improvement type game where, I don't know, because all the kind of the bug one is what
Like
put me on
House
this.
Flipper, but with a
Yeah,
large
but
worm.
like it's a worm or something like eating through your wiring and causing a sparky. I don't know, but all your electricity goes down. It's I don't know. That's the best I can come up with out of that title. That's the most bizarre title I've ever heard.
It is pretty bizarre, and I can tell you it's an action game where you play as a microscopic worm being chased across a circuit board.
Oh my god.
So I was only minimally close, being that I get something about electronics, and that's it.
So that gives you an idea of how this game's going to go.
Okay, I see. So I
Amazing.
really did volunteer as tribute. Then I just got shot down big time.
Jared, I did like your game idea though. That's a good idea.
Right? It just kind of sounds like, for all the home flipper inside of all of us. I know there's home flipper already, but, throw in worms that destroy your wiring. Let's see where that
Yeah.
goes.
Make it interesting.
Where's that DLC pack?
It's just Earthworm Jim, but he's given up saving the world and he's just gone to flipping homes.
Exactly.
He's decided to stop gentrification one home at a time.
I was almost gonna say, like, is this game like some, how like sometimes the movie titles will change depending on which country they're released in. I was gonna say, is that like some other country's name for Earthworm Jim?
Oh, amazing. Right, Mike,
Right,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Question 2.
with Mogan's.
Ready.
So, 3 titles are Catwalk Sim, Vogue Model Agent, or Tracksuit Manager.
Oh, definitely Tracksuit Manager.
Wow, absolutely nailed it.
Did I get it? Yeah.
Yep.
And so, for your second point, what's the game about?
It's called Tracksuit Manager. I'm gonna say it's like Tracksuit Manager. I'm gonna say it's a resource and supply chain management game where you play as the head of a tracksuit factory, and you have to make sure that the tracksuits all go out on time to the proper size and color specifications of the order form. How close am I? Final answer.
I mean, you're getting there. You're getting there. It's a sports management sim style game.
Boo. That was my first thought, but then I thought that's too boring. No one would want to play that game.
It's literally Football Manager, but
Boo.
called Tracksuit Manager.
Really?
Lame.
Interesting.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
So your second one then, Jarrett. Tongue of the fat man, hand of the little guy, end of the little women.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Hopefully not the last one.
So what were the first two?
Tongue of the fat man,
Okay.
hand of the little guy, end of the little women.
This is a lot harder than I expected this to be.
I don't know what you're complaining about. Mine's easy.
I'm gonna go with the first one.
Tongue of the fat man.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Yes.
Ooh.
That is our title. And what type of game do you think this is?
I'm gonna say it's a dialogue heavy, maybe something along the lines of like a point and click adventure or walking sim, where basically you
Oh.
just go around trying to spread lies, basically, and just see if you can get different people to believe you. And so maybe you're like a spy or something like that, an unlikely spy, and just trying to weave tales of the tongue and tripping people up along the way with your stories and making them believe all kinds of things that are wrong.
I mean, again, that game sounds incredible, but that's not what this is.
All right, well.
So, Tongue of the Fat Man is a side-on fighting game, much like Street Fighter, in which the final boss is a fat man whose special move is his stomach opens up and a giant tongue comes out of it.
The hell?
God.
I gotta see this. Tongue of the Fat Man. No
So-
shit. This is a real thing. Okay.
I mean, we're not we haven't made these up. Well, we've made.
Oh
up
no,
some,
I'm not.
but
I'm not.
the real
I'm not
ones.
saying you're making them up, but oh my god, this game
Where
looks
did you
weird as
find
hell.
these games? Are these just? Is this like shovelware from the Wii?
This game looks old.
That's I believe that's a ZX Spectrum game.
Yeah.
Yeah, 89 is what it says.
Whoa, dang!
Real old school.
The art for it is very disturbing.
It really is.
I don't know how I feel about this.
The 80s were a wild time for gaming, man.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently,
So
one of the
strange.
fighters looks like a chicken nugget with arms that it walks on.
Oh
is this?
yeah, that is. I'm looking at it now too, and I wish I hadn't. Oh my!
I need some mental bleach after
Yes,
this.
don't
God.
love this.
Oh,
Right, so
I
Mogan.
think it.
Oh.
I think it was the image that drew me to that one. To be fair. But
Yeah,
anyway,
it's
yes,
weird.
Mike, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So question 4. Which one of these is the truth? Inappropriate proposal, back alley simulator, or
Oh.
touch
Oh.
dick?
What was the last one?
Touch dick.
Back alley simulator, touch dick, and what was the first one?
Inappropriate. Inappropriate proposal.
I'm gonna say inappropriate proposal.
You'd be incorrect.
Damn it! Was it touch dick?
It was touch dick. Yeah.
No, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go for the obvious answer. Should have known.
And just for your extra point, what was that game about?
Oh man. I'm just gonna.
For this answer, subscribe to the Team Chat podcast. only.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is this one going to be on the OnlyFans?
I
I'm
will
gonna
tell
go
you that it's
ahead-
spelled dick is spelled D-I-C.
Oh, okay.
That's a bit of it.
Oh, is it like where you touch different Dick brand pens and you like draw fun things out of gel color pet pens? That's my best guess. It's an art game about different pens from the brand DIC.
Isn't it Bic, like B-I-C?
Oh my god, you're right. Shit. Wait, I'm changing my answer then. That was not my final answer, and I didn't say so. Okay, this is a game about. Oh, God, I have no idea. Okay, there was actually an anime studio called Dick. They made the original Sailor Moon series, actually. Okay, so you're an animator, and you work at DIC, and you go around touching your coworkers inappropriately. Final answer.
That game sounds like incredible, and it sounds like a game that Shane would be all over.
Sounds like one
100%.
of those ones that would get pulled from Steam because of
Yeah.
public outcry.
Just like immediately, they're like, nope.
Yep.
It's actually a DS game based on Dictionary where you use the touchpad. I assume just pick different words, or it's like a word-based dictionary game.
Huh. Well, that sounds a lot lamer than the game I
Yep.
than my game. I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's a literally an educational dictionary game.
That's okay. Very
Not what I've guessed
misleading
at all.
title. Oh my god.
So, number 5 then. Attack of the Tiny Dinosaurs,
Oh,
Attack of the Mutant Camels, or Attack of the Land Sharks.
ooh.
Hmm.
Jared got a couple of good ones. Those all sound like good games.
I know they all. I know. What was the first one?
Attack of the Tiny Dinosaurs.
Tiny dinosaurs, camels, and then land sharks.
Sharks.
I'm gonna go with land sharks.
You can go with Land Sharks?
Yeah.
Although there is a film about land sharks, there is not a game.
Damn it.
It is
Aw.
Attack of the Mutant Camels.
I was gonna guess Tiny Dinosaurs because that game sounds like the best one.
Yeah, that game needs to happen.
100%. What we thinking it's about then?
Well, I'm gonna say there's some kind of terrible like nuclear fallout that mutates all the camels, and you got to put them down.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give
Yes.
you the point for that.
Oh,
This
Coming
one's
back,
actually
baby.
really appropriate for you to get, because it's actually you do fight giant mutant camels in a jet fighter, and it uses the same system that was used for the ZX Spectrum's Empire Strikes Back game, in which you had to take on the AT-ATs, and they just replaced the AT-ATs with camels and replaced your fighter plane, your speeder plane thing with a jet fighter.
Well, how about that? That's interesting.
So,
But I guess, if you want to turn the AT-ATs into something, a camel's a good swap, I suppose.
Just big yellow camels. Why not?
it's
So
like a
we're
straight swap.
currently sitting on it's 2-1 to Jarrett.
oh God. Okay, I gotta catch up.
Sweet victory. Almost there.
Right, so 6 is Princess Tomato in Salad Kingdom, King of Candy Mountain, or the Kitchen Prince.
I'm very tempted to say Princess Tomato because that sounds awesome. All right, so it's Kitchen Prince, Princess Tomato, and King of Candy Mountain.
Yeah.
Oh man.
If she gets it wrong, can I steal?
Oh no. I'm gonna say Princess Tomato.
You're right, yeah. Princess Tomato in
Yes,
Salad Kingdom.
got it.
And
All right,
for
so
the
give me the full title again.
Princess Tomato in Salad Kingdom.
Okay, I'm definitely going to go with them that this is one of those not very high quality, like kitchen or cooking simulator games where you're trying to like cook items to specifications within a time limit, possibly to make money.
No, nowhere near.
Damn it!
You
Are
play.
you a princess fighting evil tomatoes?
That's closer, yeah. You play.
Oh, well, too late.
You play as Sir Cucumber sent on a quest to defeat the evil Minister Pumpkin.
Oh my god.
Hilarious.
Of course.
So the evil minister in this has kidnapped the princess, and you are asked by the Tomato King, because you are the great knight Sir Cucumber, to go on a quest to defeat the other vegetables and bring home the princess safely.
I should have just guessed like loosely based on Veggie Tales, and I probably would have been close. Well, I still got a point. I'll take it.
I was thinking it was going to be the Candy Mountain one because that old YouTube video with the unicorn.
Yeah, Charlie!
Charlie,
it's gonna go to Charlie! Oh, man.
King of Candy Mountain, I instantly went to like Wreck-It Ralph and that, like, the Candy King.
Oh,
Yeah, I forgot about that. I went to the same
weird
place as
YouTube.
Yeah, I went to the same place as Jarrett Mogan went. The Charlie video.
Yeah.
Strange times. So number 7. Ninja Baseball Batman, Samurai Hockey Team, Minotaur Soccer.
Minotaur Soccer.
Incorrect.
Oh.
It
The
is.
first one.
Yeah, Ninja Baseball Batman.
Damn it! I should have gone with my gut on that one. It seemed
Minotaur
too
Soccer
real.
sounds so good.
Right?
It really does. Really does. So what do we think that Ninja Baseball Batman is about?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's somewhat self-explanatory. I feel like it's a ninja guy who's ninja by night, by day. He is the bat boy for a famous MLB team, and he gets his chance to shine one day when the star hitter is taken out by a rogue fly ball and has to prove his worth, and all of his years of ninja training pay off for him, and he strikes home run after home run.
No.
Damn it!
But
I was pretty impressed with my strong narrative there. So I hope that
I feel like you should write video games, like change your career.
So this is a up to 4-player team-based game where you battle through a side-scrolling world, much like Streets of Rage, trying to locate stolen artifacts from the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's one of the more fun sounding games. Yeah, I'd play that.
Right,
So
so
we're still on 2 apiece.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Question
All right,
I
eight.
will
tiebreaker
pull
in here.
Next one, I'm gonna get 2 for 2.
Number 8 is learning with Mr. Globe. Oh, geography learning with Mr. Globe. Sorry. The world with rucksack, or travel with Trash Man.
That
These-
Globe one sounds like it could definitely be an educational game that's
These
actually out there.
these all sound lies, like lies to me.
Say them all one more time.
So, geography learning with Mr. Globe, the world with rucksack, or travel with Trash Man.
I'm gonna go the world with rucksack.
Incorrect.
Damn, was it the
Just-
Globe one?
No, it was travel with Trash Man.
Oh, no.
Well, okay.
That sounds like a game you don't want a part of.
Okay, well, Travel with Trash Man then is definitely a game where you play as a trash man and you drive your truck around the world collecting various culturally interesting garbage.
That is
Okay, see, I'd be into that.
That is
that is spot
literally
on.
Nailed it!
that is genuinely that game. So it's a top-down view, a bit like the old GTA's, and yeah, you went around collecting people's garbage.
I knew it.
Interestingly, it's the second of 3 titles in the Trashman series. One being Trashman, where you do it in his local neighborhood. 2 being Travel with Trashman, which is obviously going around the world. And the third title being Trashman Through Time, in which he traveled back in time to collect garbage.
All right, I will say those all sound like actually pretty amazing games.
How did where in the world does Carmen San Diego beat out Traveling with Trash Man? Like, let's just be real. You know, how did Traveling with Trash Man get sent to the depths of the unknown?
I want to know if
Because that sounds much better.
If the devs ever hear this, like, I want them to add a Frank Reynolds DLC from Always Sunny. In a Scratch Man costume.
I just want to be pure. For some reason, when you said Trash Man first, I was thinking like Oscar the Grouch kind of character, and I was like, well, I don't like lives in the junkyard, and it's just like, hey, you want to come see what I got? No, I don't know if you want that. But okay, but the actual description sounds much more respectable. Trash Man as his job. I understand now.
I love
We're on
it.
board.
Respectable Trashman.
So that's Mogan.
So Jarrett,
Mogan in the lead now. So Jared, pressure's on, mate.
yeah, if you don't get a point on this round, that's it. Mogan would have won.
Pressure's
no.
on.
Oh no!
A comeback story for the ages, Mogan.
Oh man!
Cowboy Cat, Ninja Hamster, or Assassin Guinea Pig. So that's Cowboy Cat, Ninja Hamster, or Assassin Guinea Pig.
Oh man! I have 2. I'm trying to narrow it down between 2.
Cowboy
My
Cat
thought
sounds like
process
it's
for
probably
this-
the cutest game ever.
My thought process for this is I ignored my gut. It did not choose the ninja option in my last question. So that makes me feel like I should choose Ninja Hamster. On the other hand, people also have the phrase that trying to do something that's impossible is like herding cats. What do cowboys do? They herd cattle. So I'm very confused now. But ultimately,
Should I heckle? Boo, Jared.
now this is
Distraction.
Silence, please, Mogan. Silence.
Think through. Please, yes, no heckling for the other contestant, please. Could we mute her mic?
No.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Ninja Hamster.
And he's back.
No.
Ninja Hamster is correct.
Damn it.
And I mean, what else could this be about but a cute, cuddly critter who's dressed up in ninja gear, going out and fighting the baddies of the animal world? Trains all day on his running wheel. Jumps out there. He's got his little shurikens. He throws them. You know?
I mean, that's pretty much it. He's fighting other evil animals.
I came back strong.
Interestingly, this is the style of this game is that the Ninja Hamster actually didn't really move. He was sat in the middle of the screen, and you press the left or right buttons to hit the animals as they fell to attack you. So
Nice.
Yeah, a bit like an old school sort of Space Invader style thing, except you're a ninja hamster.
I'm there. I'm 100% there. Where do I play this?
Cheating. I call shenanigans. He Googled it.
I will send you my history, my search history. There's no ninja hamsters to be searched.
It's all on this one then, Morgan.
Yeah,
Mike,
so
over to you.
Morgan, you need both of these to.
I'm ready.
Ooh,
I can
who's
do
got the
it.
pressure
To win.
now?
Oh.
And then,
Shall I heckle?
Shane, have you got like a backup tiebreaker question just in case? We might
I
need
don't,
one.
but I can get one while you're asking.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'll think really hard about it.
Okay, so question 10, this is all to play for. And the three games are Air Child, Land Lady, or Seaman.
Oh no. Oh no. Air Child, Land Lady, or Sea Man? Oh god. Man. I'm gonna say Air Child.
That is incorrect.
Oh no, I've thrown it all away.
We are the champions, my friend.
Oh,
Game
well,
was
she's
rigged.
still got
Yeah,
an opportunity to draw it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh,
So-
okay, okay.
So
I
the game,
thought I was clear. Damn it. Saying too soon.
the game was Seaman.
Oh my
And
god, I knew it. I was gonna
so-
say Sea Man, but then I was like, no.
See, you should have gone with, since the other correct game was Touch Dick, and then we had Seaman. So you know. you should have
Yeah.
gone with that one.
Yeah, I
So-
feel like I'm getting some very targeted questions here.
Context clues.
All right, so I'm gonna guess that is it spelled SEAMAN? I would guess.
yeah, all one word.
All right,
yeah.
so I'm gonna go straight sailor game. Like it's you're on a boat, much like in the famous song, and you're just playing as a sailor, and you have to like mess with masts and sails and stuff.
Okay, is that your final answer?
That's my. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, that's my final answer.
Okay, that is incorrect.
No.
We are the champions.
Whatever. I
It's
didn't
a-
even care about this game.
It's a virtual pet video game. The Seaman is a weird fish creature with a human face.
Oh,
I implore you all to look it up because
No, I-
it is ridiculous.
I know the creatures you're talking about now. They used to like market those for like a product.
It
Oh
looks like
wait, never mind. Not
No.
this.
Oh,
it looks
no.
like Carl
Oh,
Pilkington's
no.
face on a fish.
Oh man. Okay.
What?
Well, I don't feel bad about this anymore because that just proves that even in my worst nightmares, I wouldn't have thought of this. So I'm not
What
sorry.
is this?
So this entire game is that you'd rear one of those fish human creature things
No,
as your
thank
pet.
you.
Oh my god.
Because why wouldn't
Oh.
you want that?
I don't.
Well, yeah, I don't want that either.
Wait, there's Seaman 2?
Oh god.
It was released for the PlayStation 2. What the hell?
Wow, made it all the way to PS2. Incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jarrett, I would say congratulations, but by nature I'm a sore loser. So
I wear my crown with pride today.
oh boy.
Well, I hope you two enjoyed that though.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was very fun.
Fun game. We really like it was a genuine surprise what the topic was gonna be, and I'm
Yeah.
glad it's a game because I love games. I love
And
trivia.
And like, hats off to you too for being able to pick. It's 10 questions, 3 games, 30 games. That like, how would anyone ever have heard of them before?
Never
So,
heard of
like,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
No.
in fairness, like, just to put that out there, I wrote down the 10 real games. We then
Okay.
handed off the list to Ryan and said, Ryan, come up with 20 fake games for us. And he genuinely came up with all 20 fake games in under 5 minutes flat.
wow. Okay, well, then
Wow.
hats off to Ryan then, because
Yeah.
that's incredible.
Dang. That's like that's creativity over 9,000.
Honestly. That's where he excels. We were just like, yeah, you do that for us. And then we'll just take the list.
We had to come up with one tiebreaker, like, and we panicked.
Oh, shit, get him on the line.
You're lucky I'm bad at things.
I didn't even finish coming up with the third one for the tiebreaker before you finished your answer. I got two in, and then was like, oh no, she's lost. I don't need this anymore.
Oh. Oh, well, thank you for crafting for us such a fun and competitive game.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely our pleasure. But so, should we move on to something a little bit more serious now? now that we've had so much fun.
Right, serious faces on. I'm
Serious faces on. We've got some serious news to talk about. I say that, and Mike's story isn't very serious, so he can start us off.
Ace Ventura 3 has been announced.
I saw this.
Sort of. The writers of the Sonic movie, who must love Jim
God.
Carrey, are like, yeah, let's do Ace Ventura 3. So it's been I think it's been confirmed by that studio that they're working on it. So yeah, Jim Carrey is back on form, I think.
Yeah, I'm happy to see it. I'm glad that the
Yeah.
Sonic movie put it back on the map.
Yeah.
I still
He
need to see
needed
the
it,
Sonic
didn't he?
movie.
Everybody that I know saw it said it was great. That it
Yeah.
was
Yeah, that's
genuine.
what I've heard.
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
It was really good.
Sonic was fantastic. I am concerned about this Ace Ventura announcement though, because although I would love, I love both of the Ace Ventura films. I think they're fantastic films. The time frame between the last one and this one, I do have my reservations. I look at, for example, the recent Coming to America 2 film, and does raise concerns around, is the quality going to be the Ace Ventura quality that we know and love, or is it going to?
I mean,
unfortunately,
hopefully they just sort of let Jim Carrey loose, and
hopefully that's the real hope.
and
Hopefully it's not like
just,
Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah.
Exactly, like
That movie was rough.
yeah. But that's exciting. I'm still excited for it. I'm just cautiously excited.
Yeah, I mean, I was a huge Ace Ventura fan, like growing up as a kid, like watching like comedians like that, and like Mrs. Doubtfire and Ace Ventura, Liar Liar. Those types of movies were just like my childhood. So I'm just excited for this. My inner child is happy.
Did you?
I actually
Did any of
missed
you?
out on watching the Ace Ventura movies, so I'd have to cram the other two in real quick before I can see the third one.
They're so
I mean,
good.
They're so good.
That's
So
what I've
very
always
good.
heard. It's just one that I'm like, why haven't I watched this yet? I need to rectify this. I need to correct this history pretty soon.
Yeah,
You do. You actually do.
yeah.
Did any of you used to watch or have watched the Ace Ventura cartoon that came out as well?
Yeah, I remember
No.
that.
Because that
yeah.
was
Oh,
that was
no.
good.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. It
Can't
was
remember
sort of,
who-
It sort of looked like animation style, like the Mr. Bean cartoon that's around now.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it's similar looking to that, but yeah, it was all Ace Ventura. I don't know who voiced it or not, whether it was Jim Carrey or not, but I remember like watching that as a kid and just being like, yes, more Ace Ventura.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the same, if it was Jim Carrey or not, but it was the same writer who did the Jackie Chan Adventures TV show, like the cartoon for that, and he's also done like a couple of Transformers shows
That was
and
also amazing, yeah.
and the Batman cartoon between like 2004 2008, which was one of the really good ones. He wrote that as well, so it was the same writer who did those.
Nice.
I 100% just looked that up, so
Yeah.
I did not just know that off the top of my noggin.
But that Jackie Chan cartoon, damn, that was
Oh, I
so
remember that
good.
one.
Yeah.
I love
That was one of the best cartoons ever made.
incredible.
Fact.
Yeah.
My brother just texted me a picture of this because he just bought the DVD set. But did anyone watch the old Godzilla cartoon from like after the American version?
Nope.
The American movie came out. Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I've seen a lot of the movies, but I've never
Wait,
seen
no,
the
yeah, I
cartoon.
did. I remember
Yeah, it was like
yeah.
it was still set in like, or it had like the same characters from the American Godzilla movie, the '98 movie, and they were all still in it. They added in like a couple extra, like the scientist guy who had a robot named Nigel that got constantly destroyed every episode. And my brother found it. We used to watch it. I think Mogan, it would show on Fox here, and
Yeah, it was on
in
because
like
we
the
had
mornings
we
or
had Fox
afternoons or
Kids
something like that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then and then he found the DVD set in a store and like texted me a picture, and I said, "You better be picking that up." No question. He said there wasn't a thought in my mind.
I like that. I kind of want to see that myself now because I'm a big Godzilla fan. Might have to look into this.
Yeah, I like
Yeah, I
me some
wonder. I don't know
Godzilla.
if it's available to be streamed anywhere. I'll have to look into that too. I didn't think about looking for that because
And
yeah, it wouldn't be one. It'd be one that I wouldn't mind watching again for
Just
old
on the
time's
note,
sake.
of like these old cartoons, just it's bringing back loads of memories. The Mortal Kombat cartoons. Anyone remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, it
I didn't watch
was-
the old ones. I watched one of the newer movies that came out.
I found that
Scorpion's Revenge, I think.
so bizarre that it was just an animated series of Mortal Kombat, and it was so like at the time it was so controversial.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but like the 80s and 90s, they literally didn't care what they made into cartoons. No matter how violent it was or how ridiculous the concept was, they were like, "Yeah, we'll just make a cartoon of it. Someone will love it."
It's true.
Just,
And they did.
If someone will. Exactly.
That's all. I've always had a morbid curiosity to watch the cartoon, the Watership Down cartoon.
Oh god, we talked about this like last episode, I think, with Number One Gun, and that that is depressing. That is a depressing cartoon.
That's what I've heard, but I'm just
Yeah.
like curious. I'm just like, I need to know what this is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just go watch it. It's awful.
Go
All right,
watch it
all right.
and cry a lot.
I'm ready to be hurt.
What's that? You like cute animals? Get ready to cry. So following on from that, Mogan, what news story have you got for us this week?
My news story is nice and lighthearted, just like the game it hails from. In case you're not aware, it's by the time this episode comes out, it won't be. But today, March 20th, is Animal Crossing New Horizons 1-year anniversary. It's officially been a year of the greatest game of all time, sort of.
Debatable.
What's
Happy birthday?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. What's weird about this, or what I find incredible about this, is that 1-year period of Animal Crossing is literally it is the calendar that is taken up the entire lockdown of the UK. That game came out right at the beginning of lockdown. It was like it was the perfect release window for everybody about to not be allowed to leave their house and need a second world to go and spend their time in. And now a year later, we're just ending that lockdown.
I would love to see, like on the multiple universes theory, I want to go to the other parallel universe where that game released and there was no lockdown, there was no Rona, and compare the sales numbers. Like, how much did the Rona help New Horizons? Because you gotta know it helped at least a little, and potentially a whole lot.
I was going to say, I'd imagine it's massive. I'd imagine it. So many people were just craving for that need of something that not only felt like a second life because their own life they couldn't live, but just also in its simplicity. It's just so simple and easy, and such a take away from especially working from home, taking you out of that working life to just do something like picking turnips.
Absolutely, and I think it was such a great choice for socializing in game, because there's no point to having people visit your island in Animal Crossing. I mean, there kind of is. They can sell you things, they can give you stuff, obviously, but mostly this actually happened just the other night. I had shooting stars on my island, so I just opened up my gates and posted in a couple of servers that I'm in, like, hey, I've got shooting stars, come over if you want to. And 2 people I know and 1 person I have never met or spoken to before in my entire life showed up, and we just sat around in my town and just wished on shooting stars and played bridge troll, where me and the rando would block the bridge and the other 2 would try to get around us. And that's it. There's not really that much to air quotes do when your friends come over in Animal Crossing New Horizons, but you, out of that absence, you make your own fun. And I think that's why it's such a great game to play with your friends, because it's like regular friend stuff. You just derp around and have fun.
I mean, this game just reminds me of the time that I lost my Switch to my missus because I just couldn't get a hold of it because she was just hooked on Animal Crossing. She was a turnip salesman for 90% of the day. It's just That's all she would talk about was just turnips, just like and turnip prices, and it's just like
So literally became the number one woman of the UK
yeah, I'm
for
just
turnip
like,
sales.
this game is weird, man. I'm like,
That's awesome.
It's so funny because like people really will go to all of this effort to make sure that either they make bank off of it or to just help their friends make buku bucks in New Horizons for no personal gain. Like you don't really get anything out of it. You're just being cool, and it's like it's just a good game for building a sense of community in.
yeah, it is really good.
Yeah, it's done well. It's done really well. So yeah, well done, Animal Crossing.
Well done,
Well
Animal
done.
Crossing. Good job.
So, Garrett, what have you got for us this week?
So the news story I was going to bring is that we finally have the announcement of the latest installment in the Life is Strange series, which is one that I love a whole lot. Mogan loves it a whole lot. We've done several episodes across Life is Strange over on Team Chat, and it's just one of our favorite series to talk about. So getting to see that a new one is coming is pretty exciting, and it looks like it's going to offer a lot of new stuff and some new experiences for the series, and also making a huge change that Mogan and I are both incredibly excited about.
That's the best.
But Life is Strange True Colors is the title of the game, and it comes out on September 10th. And you'll play as Alex Chen, and it takes place in Haven Springs, Colorado, not in Oregon, like I originally thought when the trailer started, and like how the other games started out in the Pacific Northwest, Arcadia Bay, Oregon for the first game, and then Seattle for the second. But the big thing that I am so excited about is that they are ditching the episodic format for the release, which I am just over the moon about, because
it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be so good. They said in the reveal that, there are going to be chapter breaks where you kind of like with Valhalla, where you reach a very definite, like, this part of the main story is over now, which they said you'll probably want to still take the breaks for emotional reasons, because I'm assuming just like any other Life is Strange game, it's going to be emotionally gut-wrenching. And but still, this not having to wait, because I want to say it was over a year from the release of the first episode to the release of the final episode for Life is Strange 2. And in that time, so you're looking at like 2-3 month gaps in between the 5 episodes that were released, and you just lost all interest. That was the big problem. Like, you would just play episode 1, then you had to wait 3 months for episode 2, and it's only a 2 hour, like each episode's like 2 hours long. So you just totally lost the flow of the game. So I'm so excited to see them going, ditching that model instead for the full complete release. And it just looks like it's going to be a great time, because Alex's special superpower ability is that she has psychic empathy. So she can like read and manipulate the emotions of other people. And that's displayed in the game through like colorful auras that surround the NPCs and other characters you interact with. So it just looks like it's going to be a great successor. I'm pretty excited about it, as far as just like continuing on the Life is Strange series. And it's a new developer too. Deck 9 is taking.
I was about to say that. Yeah, it's not. So Deck 9 also did Before the Storm, didn't they?
Yes.
Yes, they did. Yeah. So this is which I actually still need to play. I haven't. I played the main games, but not the side game at Before the Storm, and I need to take care of that before I play True Colors, because there is some crossover in terms of characters that were in Before the Storm that are also going to be in True Colors.
I liked Before the Storm, to be fair. I thought it was really good. I've not played Life is Strange 2 or the other one, the awesome Captain.
Oh, that's right. The demo for Life is Strange 2. That's right.
I never played that.
Captain Spirit, that's it.
Yeah. We played that one too, and it was good. It was good, but then it honestly, if I remember right, didn't it kind of tarnish our initial view of the first game too? Because we thought we were going to be playing more, or interacting more with the boy and Captain Spirit, and then he was just such a small side character in the final game.
It was just a throwaway. It was just a demo for a character that got mentioned once in the rest of the game.
And it it totally overinflated, and I guess it was Mogan and I's fault for trying to dig too deep into what potentially could be in this game, but it totally like threw us off course of what we were getting in Life is Strange
It's
2. And I
just
feel like
wild because that game had its own like total story that they could have expanded on so much, and they were just like, nah, we're not going to do that.
I mean, isn't that the whole like reason for that tease though? Is to literally just give you a tiny taste of this world, and that's not even a fraction of what you'll be seeing.
I guess, but it was like it kind of just was like hit this kid. It seemed like it was building up a mystery around the boy Chris in Captain Spirit. It felt like it was building up like a mystery around him and his family, and that just was like not the case at all. It was just a total misdirection, and so we were kind of like, huh, interesting. Okay, well, let's see where this goes then from here.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what obviously we know the episodic changes coming, but I'm interested to see what other changes Deck 9 are going to make now that they're in charge of the series.
Well,
see what
fully,
they bring in.
It is going to be fully motion captured as well.
Yeah, that's a whole new thing, isn't it?
Which I'm sure will like up the look of it a lot. And I mean, even just from the trailer, I mean, the game looks incredible, but like it looks even more just like natural in some of its animations and stuff like that. So I'm sure that's going to be a huge upgrade.
Well, I've just had a look at Deck 9, and I feel like this is one of those games that this is basically this is the game that could make them. So I feel like they're going to put a lot into it, because looking back at their like history of games, they don't have a lot that particularly the last game they made was under a different name, and that was back in 2013. And then after that, it was before the Storm, and now this. So I feel like this is their sort of almost their debut game. If you don't, because a lot of people I don't think necessarily realise that Before the Storm was under a different.
I actually didn't. I didn't realize
different developer. So we might see them like pull out all the stops just to kind of show who they are and what they can do.
Yeah,
I think it'll be interesting.
Oh, look at that! They're actually based in Colorado, so they know exactly what that landscape looks like.
The minute they could swing it, they were like, "We're getting out of Oregon, we're bringing it home."
But no, yeah. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, the two takeaways for me were like the effects that her powers had, how like if she, empathized with someone that was like super angry, then she would then be overtaken by that feeling, and like it's interesting sort of gameplay mechanic wise. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how that like translates over, because obviously like Max, she could reverse time and all that stuff, manipulate time, and then and well, I don't want to spoil too much Life is Strange if you're playing Life is Strange 2 if you're planning on playing that, but still, it's just like it was her power is different, and it's going to be interesting to see how much. Well, especially even too in Life is Strange 2, you didn't really even use the power that much, so it'll be interesting to see how they do this. I'm very curious to see how they do it, but I bet however they do it, especially because like the colorful auras and all that stuff, it's going to be just mind-blowingly beautiful, I think.
Yeah, and speaking of which, coming out alongside of True Colors, they are also releasing a remastered version of the first Life is Strange. So if you did miss out on it, you'll be able to catch up. You don't have to, but you can.
My other takeaway from that trailer was the acoustic rendition of Creep by Radiohead.
Oh, yeah.
That was really good. Cool. Yeah. It kind of reminded me of like The Last of Us 2. And that sort of like low-key moment where she did the Take On Me.
Yeah.
I thought they were like very sort of similar, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities there. That particular scene, but no, it does look really good. It does look solid, and that kind of brings on to the story I've brought this week, which is the rest of the Square Enix presentation. So did you guys? I know Mike, you've seen it. You watched it back. Did you two watch the Square presentation?
Yep. Yes.
What did you think?
I thought it was good. I thought like there was some stuff I was interested in for sure. Like Outriders is really getting my interest. I've actually been kind of dabbling in the demo a little bit of that over the last week too, and that game I think will be a lot of fun. So that one I've always kind of curious to see more of what it's going to look like, because I always enjoy the loot shooters. We actually kind of talked about this a little bit on our episode where Mogan and I both agreed that like those games are a lot of fun, but we have to have a group who's going to play them. We can't just like go off on our own, because then we burn out really fast. Not having the group for like the raids and all that stuff really kind of takes away the enjoyment. So it's like I'm watching it and being like excited about it, but I also want to be like, I need to know who's going to play it with me if I get it, basically. But
Yeah,
it looks really
definitely.
cool.
That's it. It's one of those games that's like you need the discussion with your friends group first to know who's
right.
playing it. And
Yeah. So for anyone who didn't see the Square Enix presents, it kicked off with Outriders. We got to see a bit of an extended gameplay of Outriders. They showed us a little bit more around that game, and as Jack said, it looks like a fun little shooter. For me, it's not a day one purchase, get out there straight away, but it's definitely something I'm going to pick up and have a play around with at some point. But like you say, it's heavily on having people to play it with. But if you want Xbox, it's going straight to Games Pass, I believe.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
On day
nice.
one. So yeah, so if you're an Xbox player, you can pick that up straight away without any extra cost.
I mean, as we've seen with previous games that didn't do so well, like Anthem, without that solid player base, it's just not going to go anywhere. So I think that's a good move on their part. Make sure that they
100%.
have a really strong player base at the outset.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's the same with anything that launches as like a PS Plus title, for the free games.
Exactly.
Like anything that launches like that just automatically has like the player base there, and it's just a running head start. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, definitely, exactly that. Square then went into a little bit of a mobile showcase, and they showed off Just Cause for mobile and Space Invaders AR, which both were a bit weird.
I think the Space Invaders one looked interesting. I'm not personally a fan of the Just Cause games, so that one didn't ping any interest for me. But AR Space Invaders, okay, I'd give that a shot.
yeah.
It's definitely an interesting concept. Whether it's going to last, because I don't know whether the AR feature is going to become almost. Is it one of those features that's just going to get really tiresome really quickly, or is it something that's actually going to like hold your attention for a long period of time? Is it just going to be gimmicky? It's going to what we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah. When I think of like AR, I think of Pokemon Go, and that was
of which
very,
everyone turned off the AR after about a day.
After I photographed like a Magikarp in my pint or whatever at the pub, it's just turned off after that.
Let's be fair, that is still solid gold. I think we can all appreciate the value of that.
100%.
I kind of thought like maybe it was something where like you could project, you could play it with a friend, and like the board would project on like the side of a building or on a wall or something like that, on your phone, obviously. But
that'd be cool.
That would be kind of cool if you could do it that way. Again, that definitely does, even in my head, like come across as more of a gimmicky thing, but still, that'd be a fun party game.
Yeah, that'd be sick for parties. I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
I think party game element is like. Sorry, Morgan.
From a developer standpoint, that Square Enix is one of the few that is consistently willing to like engage with mobile. I think that's kind of something that they're a little bit unique about, actually.
Yeah, I know Ubisoft tend to dabble in mobile quite a bit as well, don't they? But
I think some of the others do.
Go, and that one was fun. Or Lara Croft Go. Sorry.
Yeah. I think some of the other companies do dabble in mobile. They just don't do as good a job of it, so they don't shout about it as much. Whereas Square generally do a fairly good job of it, so they're more willing to shout about it when they've done a good job on it. Whereas some of the others, you look at some of the Ubisoft like mobile games, or even just the apps that they've had to go with their games, and most of them don't work or don't work very well, or are really frustrating to use and actually make the game less playable than it's supposed to be. But that's Ubisoft for you sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But moving forward, we then had an excruciatingly long look at the latest DLC for Avengers.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Which
unending.
Felt like it went on forever.
I was so glad that I was actually watching the presents afterwards. I was watching the VOD, and I was like, skip, because I looked at the tracker and I was like, oh my god, this just keeps going and going. So after the first initial bit, I was like, skip. I'm skipping straight to the end of this.
You saved yourself some time, because I was watching it live and I was sitting there, but I totally checked out. I was just like, this nothing about this game has attracted me to it, and like, yeah, I was just like, no,
It's-
what?
it's-
Hawkeye? Oh,
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
Hawkeye is
My favorite
he's not-
character.
he's not the selling character after a game that's been struggling, is it? And interestingly, I read about the Hawkeye DLC earlier today, and so bearing in mind that the game launched back in September, they had to wait if you were a fan, you had to wait 3 months to get Kate Bishop, who is also a Hawkeye, and then you had to wait another 3 months to get another Hawkeye. You've now got
Who
2
greenlit that?
Hawkeyes. So your first 6 months of content is 2 of the same character, except one's male and one's female. But apparently Hawkeye's campaign takes about an hour and 40 minutes to complete, and then after that there is nothing to do.
Wow.
So after
no.
6 months of waiting,
Oh,
you get
no.
2 hours of gameplay.
Wow, that's stunning. I mean,
whoopsies.
you would think that after the abysmal job that they've managed to do with the game so far, that they would have prioritized that Black Panther release, which actually seemed like the far more interesting one. But I
Absolutely.
guess not.
Yeah.
No,
you'd have
and
to wait
even
till
the
at
Black-
least summer for that.
Yeah, so that's
That'll be
another
end summer.
4 to 6 months before Black Panther's going to come out.
Oh my god. I mean, if it actually does manage to come out, if they don't scrap the game before then, I will be actually surprised and a little impressed.
Well, yeah, there is that, but there's also the concern of, and I know a couple of people that are still playing the game that are genuinely concerned about this, is that when the game launched, there was and it was printed on the box, a promise for all PlayStation purchases of a free Spider-Man DLC, which still has yet to be undated. And that was meant to come out beginning of this year. Originally, it was targeted for March this year, I believe. And that's currently completely undated. Currently has no idea when it's come out, and we know the next DLC isn't for another 4 to 6 months, which means Spider-Man could be another
Yikes.
8+ months away.
Maybe we'll get another
That's
Hawkeye
not good.
in that time, just to fill that gap. Like a third
Yeah,
Hawkeye.
I'm sure there probably is a third Hawkeye in the Marvel universe. I'm sure they can find one. I'm pretty sure there's like a UK version of Hawkeye in the Marvel universe that's called something else. They can just bring him in.
They're probably
there
just
we
going to
go.
re-release both Kate Bishop and Hawkeye as Hawkeyes, and it's just going to be like, you gotta get both of them in a co-op campaign.
Very, very possible.
I'd be more excited for like some B-list hero like Squirrel Girl or something like
And
that.
give us the weird ones. Marvel, release the weird characters.
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
I mean, it was great that they started off with Kamala Khan, as being the main character of the base game, and that's awesome. But like, then it just immediately fell into the characters we already all know.
Yeah, and who doesn't love Squirrel Girl? She can control squirrels. What isn't there to love about this?
Exactly. It's all right there. The possibilities are all in front of you if you'll just embrace them.
Just release the Squirrel
Exactly.
Cut. I know it exists.
So following on from that excruciatingly long Avengers clip, we then had a really weird dive into the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider, which didn't actually cover a lot about any games, but a lot about a statue. They
I
were
really
like,
liked this. I was like, yeah, cookbook, hell yeah, survival.
Yeah, a cookbook.
I just thought that was a weird, random thing to throw on.
It's very strange.
Get a cookbook.
So we had a Tomb Raider cookbook, a Tomb Raider anime, and a Tomb Raider statue with like the 3 main focuses. And then on the end, they were like, "Oh yeah, also we're releasing the Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy as a remaster." But that was like an end for after the cookbook and the statue.
I was really excited about the statue because, like my best mate growing up, he always had like a Lara Croft statue in his bedroom, and I was always dead jealous of it. So I just want this statue just to.
Oh, it's your time to shine.
Yeah, that's
Finally
it. That's it.
have the better statue.
I'm curious as well with the Tomb Raider anime, who's developing that? Because I've not heard anything about this.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised that they didn't even show like concept art. They just mentioned it in passing, which I thought was a little odd.
And it's through Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's through Netflix. It continues the story from the games. I'm just having a look now.
I mean,
I
if
do
it's
know
I'm
that
wondering
it's
if
the
it's with the same one who
Castlevania
does
team,
their
that'd be so
Yeah,
good.
I'm wondering too.
and
And they're
Blood of
actually based
Zeus.
in Austin.
Oh,
Yeah.
Blood of Zeus as well was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been meaning to watch Blood of Zeus too. But yeah, I wonder. I mean, that's kind of seems to be their go-to for their anime series. So maybe
Or at
Yeah.
least for their video
or their
game
animated.
series.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. Not their anime stuff. That's true.
It
Yeah.
says here it's being developed by Legendary, but I don't know
Oh,
who
okay.
Legendary are.
Isn't that the same? Didn't they do isn't that the studio that does the live action movies too? Like their
I think-
logo is like the all like
I
weird
think so,
like
yeah,
glyph
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, So I've just you're right. They have a side part called Legendary Animation. I'm just going to see what they've done to give us an idea. Legendary Animation. If I can find.
I'll cut this part out.
I mean, just talk while I find it.
I mean, I'm also
Uh,
trying to find it because it's like what an
Yeah.
I hate it when businesses do this, where they make the name of whatever their business is so generic. Like Legendary Animation could turn up in Google as 35 most legendary anime of all time. It's like, no, I'm looking for a business, and you're making it so hard for me to find that.
Interestingly, though, Legendary are the ones that have got the Mass Effect film as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
Yeah, that's just come up on my list. No, I mean I can't find it. I'll have to do some research later because I can't find what they've done before.
Yeah.
Well,
Not very conclusive list anymore.
That's exciting. Then we went into the. Did we go into the Life is Strange stuff? I can't remember which order this came in. We had the Life is Strange stuff, but then we had Forspoken, which is that
Yeah.
Project Athia game,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
looks stunning.
yeah, agreed.
Yeah, this did look really
I
good.
saw somebody tweet out. Remember the like tech demo video that Epic Games I think released
Yep.
of stuff that they had made on the PS5, and everybody was like, this is just a game that's in development. But then somebody like put the one of the like big still images from that next to a still image of Project Athia, and you're like, oh, so
Yeah.
this is maybe where that tech is going towards, because man, it looks
Tuck
good.
it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks insane. Interestingly, it's going to PC and it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive, like console exclusive. It's not going to Xbox.
I'm not super surprised about that. But kudos to PS5, I guess.
Yeah.
Good job, Square Enix. Get them exclusive dollars.
Yeah, why not? And I mean, it's coming in 2022. It looks incredible. And I've just remembered what game I missed, and it was after Project Athia, in my opinion, it was the second best game they showed, and I completely am upset that I missed this. Balan Wonderworld looked incredibly mental in the best kind of way.
That's so funny that you say that because Jared and I probably both. I know that he had the exact same facial expression I did when you were like, "Oh yeah, the other best game." Both of us were probably like, "There was another game," because we both just like I'm actually really interested to hear your take on it because Jared and I are like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
We
I couldn't
just
put heads or
don't get
tails of it.
I
So
think
give us the hot take.
I think that is why I'm so interested, because I don't know what it is, but it looks beautifully mental in the most ridiculous of ways.
Was it like the
It looks like
3D platformer type one?
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
right, yeah,
only
yeah.
way I can really describe it is to me it looks like Little Big Planet on LSD. That's all I can say. Like, I don't know what it's about, but it's colourful, it's mental, there's puzzle solving. There's a bit in the trailer where you see the one of the characters has to turn into a cannon to shoot things to solve a puzzle, and I was like, I don't understand anything that's happening right now, but I want to be involved in it. But there is a demo out. I've yet to play it yet, but that's coming to Switch.
It kind of reminds me
PS4,
of like
PS5.
old like PS1, PS2 games like Glover, and those really obscure ones that like hardly anybody played, but look really fun, like Pandemonium on PS1. It's like just this really obscure, weird sort of drug-fueled world. Like it looked like it was like
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's made by two Sega guys. The director actually directed a shed load and worked on pretty much all of the original Sonic games.
Oh,
And
Interesting.
that.
the artist who's like come up with the mental art in that game also worked on pretty much all of the Sonic games. And do you remember the Xbox game Blinks, the Time Sweeper? It was like a cat that
yeah, that's what I
went
mean.
Yeah.
through time.
Those types of games where it's just like this really obscure like platforming with a wacky zany character, like it just looked like that.
I mean, I'm all for it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's one of those games that, especially if you've got children like in your family or that you play with, it's going to be one of those games you can pick up with a kid. Like I've obviously thinking of Ryan or Mike, who have got kids that they can play games with. It looks like it's going to be that real family fun, puzzle solving, just something that you can pick up, do a couple of levels with your son or daughter. And then put down, but at the same time it's going to be colourful and mental, and you feel like you're on a drug trip afterwards, and it's going to be just a lot of fun is my
Actually,
view on it.
The comparison to the old Pandemonium games, that I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, that's
that's
like
what I call
one of my first like PS1 games. So it always like
Well, I think us too. I remember
Yeah.
playing it and being like, "Are we jumping on watermelons?" I don't understand what's happening.
Amazing. But yeah, that was Square Enix. It was a pretty decent showing, to be honest.
Yeah, that was pretty. A lot of stuff
yeah.
was pretty cool.
yeah, I think they
Yeah,
like
I think
managed
they did.
expectations, didn't they? Like they literally tweeted out what
yeah.
they were gonna show. They showed it,
Yeah.
and then they showed like one surprise. So,
Yeah, that was
fair
their
play to
strongest
them.
point, is that they, unlike the other companies that have shown stuff so far this year, is that they 100% managed their expectations. No one went into that expecting to see something like that they didn't announce. It was just, right, we know what we're getting. It's going to be a bit of fun.
Although I did see in the YouTube comments, like when I was rewatching the VOD, people are asking to just show Elden Ring. Like,
Oh yeah,
like
gosh! Release the Elden Ring.
Yeah, well, we'll see when that eventually gets released.
Someday.
But I mean, that's it for the news for this week. So
I guess that's it for the
Mike.
episode, then, isn't it?
yeah, do you wanna
Yeah.
do
so
the thing?
I'll do the thing. So that's been this week's episode. We've did the thing. So join us next week where we have a very, very special guest, Stan Bush, with us. So
excited.
Yeah, we're really excited for this one. So yeah, just subscribe and then you'll get that notification. We also have a Discord open now, which we just opened the other day. So if you want to like carry on these chats and conversations, you can join us there. We're pretty active in that Discord. And yeah, that's it. Catch you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Triple XP. Triple XP. Triple XP.